Hello and welcome back to the PowerSwitch, gaming's call-in talk radio show. My name is Peter Spezia, and today is June 16th, 2018. This is the 50th episode of the podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We use Discord as a means to add and drop callers to talk about video games, and switch the power that is found in a typical gaming podcast. You can join our server to participate during recordings at rhymeswithasia.com/call. On today's episode, the answers to our 50 E3 2018 yes or no questions in our headline roundup. Our main topic is our biggest takeaways from E3 2018, and then we will get to your calls if you are tuning in live on Discord. Joining us on this post E3 show is the winner of our E3 2018 contest. It is Demetrius, joining us from North Carolina. Welcome back to the PowerSwitch. Good to have you on this show.
As always, I feel welcome. I've kind of got a history with this kind of stuff.
Always have been so close, or you won and couldn't attend. It is definitely a history, but it's so good to have you on this one. You got 37 questions out of 50 correct, so that is excellent. Well done. It happens to be the same score that I got as well, so that's really good to see. So for some of the runners-up, we had 34 points. We had DQP, who won last year's contest. He entered early, got the 4 bonus points, almost got him close there. 33 points, we had Decaf, 78. And with 32 points, we had Grimace Duminis. So those were some of the really close contenders there. But Demetrius, welcome to the show here. We're going to start by kind of recapping the answers to those questions that we answered for that contest, kind of go through them in 10 question chunks and kind of discuss what our big takeaways from them are before going into our main topic of E3 2018 as a whole. We're going to start then with our headline roundup. We start with Microsoft. Let's go through these questions really quickly. We'll kind of say what they were yes or no, and then I'll kind of talk with you about what we thought about Microsoft's showing. So, will a brand new first-party intellectual property be announced? No. They announced new companies to kind of bring in their first-party fold, but no first-party game announced that was brand new. Will Halo 6 be revealed? Yes, that was Halo Infinite, announced to be continuing the Master Chief story after Halo 5. Will an all-new Gears of War or Fable game be released? Yes. 3 Gears of War games, specifically Gears of War 5 topping that there. Will Crackdown 3 receive a specific release date? Yes, it started off saying it's delayed, possibly to 2019, possibly February 2019, and I believe it got a February 22nd, 2019 release date, much like many other games. Will a racing game specifically titled Forza Horizon 4 be announced? Yes, absolutely. October 2nd, the release date for that. Will Below and Ashen be shown during the conference? Yes, whether it is in Game Pass announcements or sizzle reels, both were shown there. Will an old Rare property be rebooted in some fashion? Yes. Battletoads 2019. Will Minecraft be mentioned during the conference? No, it was shown on the screen of Microsoft Studios' first-party developers, but not called out specifically by name, and Microsoft, the game itself, was not shown. So no, not during the conference. Will online multiplayer capability be permanently included with a Game Pass subscription? That would be no. Maybe in a future update we'll see something like that, but not at E3. And will virtual or augmented reality be mentioned during the conference? Also, no. Demetrius, your big takeaways from Microsoft during this E3?
Yeah, without getting into too many specifics, I felt like they had quite a bit to show. We had a significant portion of yeses there, and the no's were kind of sort of minor stuff like the Game Pass thing. But we got a revival of a Rare IP, which also doubled as a yes to another question later on.
Sure did, yep.
And we got our Halo 6. We got not 1, not 2, but 3 Gears of War games, although I'm probably not going to play 2 of them.
Yeah. Gears Pop and then Gears Tactics. I mean, totally different games, but yeah, I'll stick with 5.
Yeah, I'll be fine with 5. So, but yeah, I felt it was a pretty good show, even if most of what was shown wasn't exactly exclusive. It was still entertaining.
Yeah, and they showed 50 games, a lot of them third party. And as you mentioned, like, yeah, a lot of those games will be on PlayStation 4 as well. I think the big announcement of those 5 new first party studios, whether it was, the creation of that new studio, the Initiative, or, if they were signing Playground and Undead Labs and Ninja Theory was a big one. Compulsion, like that, the name Compulsion didn't really occur to me until we're seeing We Happy Few, and it's good to see that one coming out in August out of early release sort of testing there. That's a good way to establish the slate of first-party studios that we had said like is a big weakness of Microsoft's. Yeah, are they delivering the games on that front yet? Not yet, but I think it's promising for their future. That said, it was Halo, Gears, and Forza all in one conference. I wish I would have seen a little more from Halo. It's nice to open with that, but it didn't tell us a whole lot. Only the slip space engine. I mean, what's the deal there? But it was probably my favorite show, just because it was the duration and it was well paced and it kept showing games. And even if they were, just the world premieres that were third party, on PlayStation, Xbox. I mean, to have Devil May Cry 5 show up at Microsoft, that was crazy. Jump Force, Bandai Namco, like those were big surprises. So I think it made for a good show overall. Didn't say a whole lot for the first party games this year, because right now it's Forza, and that's about it for this year. But I think they set up enough moves going forward that should be promising.
Yeah, it was kind of my favorite show too.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go to Sony. Will the conference open with a live orchestral performance? No. Sean Layden talked, and then it was Gustavo Santaolalla. That's, I think, how you say his name. It's a mouthful. The Last of Us composer with the banjo, and they were in that church, and it was supposed to transition to the Last of Us gameplay. They also had the performer on the Japanese flute there for Ghost of Tsushima. Not orchestral, but still Sean Layden spoke first. So, no. Will third-person gameplay footage be shown during the conference from all 3 of the following? Last of Us Part 2, Death Stranding, and Ghost of Tsushima? Yes. All 3. Absolutely. Will Days Gone or Dreams receive a specific release date? Days Gone did, February 22nd, so that is a yes. Will a new game from one of Sony's first-party studios be revealed? No. There was some confusion here at first. There was the Daracine game, the VR game from Software. I think it was initially reported that Sony Japan Studio is working on that one, but it seems to be just from Software. I mean, the makers of Bloodborne and all that. So, no on that question. Will Bluepoint announce that they are remaking one of the following titles? Metal Gear Solid, Demon's Souls, or Infamous? No. Simple enough. Will PlayStation Now or backwards compatibility be mentioned at all during the conference? It was not. Though I think there have been rumors that are popping up that PlayStation Now may be considering downloaded games, kind of like what Game Pass is doing. So it's interesting to see that they're thinking about that on the back end, but nothing certainly during the conference, not mentioning those weaknesses there. Will PlayStation VR be mentioned or shown in a specific game's trailer during the conference? Yes, though right now I cannot remember the name. It's the one from the Rick and Morty creators.
Yeah,
the little guy in the bathtub. Hey, I'm a guy in a tub. PlayStation VR. So yes, it was. Will From Software show more of the project currently known as Shadows Die Twice? They did, but it wasn't at Sony's conference. Still, the question is, it means that the answer is a yes. They showed it at Microsoft for that title, certainly. And then will new video footage of Final Fantasy VII Remake or Shenmue 3 be released? That's a no. And will PlayStation users finally be able to change their PSN names? Also, a no. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. That looks pretty interesting, but it was another good get from Microsoft on their stage. What did you think of Sony's E3, though?
First off, I just want to say, like, it had to be like third-person gameplay of all 3 of Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, and Death Stranding. Death Stranding barely applied.
Yeah, he's delivering packages or something like that.
Well, that was gameplay. But at the same time, I feel like there's so many people excited about Death Stranding. Me, I can't get excited about it because I have no clue what it is. To this day, I thought by now I would have a better idea. I know there's walking is possible. I know that. And I know that you will carry things on your back, including what looked like a human body. And there's some kind of stealth element, and like bad things in the world.
Right.
I still don't know like much about the game. I can't get too excited. It looks nice. It looks, graphically really well done. If the stealth mechanics work the way they appear to work, then I guess that would be a pretty good thing. I still don't know much about it.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I guess the conference, again, without getting into too much specifics, was, had some decent stuff, but it was like just really weird. And I could talk about that at length later.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the games, they nailed it. I thought the game selection was terrific. Could have had a little bit more, I suppose. But we'll talk about the intermission because that was just dreadful. You can't have that happen. I know it's a cool moment when you transition from the church or whatever to the actual setting of the Last of Us trailer. It's a neat moment, but you can't have 15 minutes of downtime, like straight up. Spider-Man was really cool to see. I'm really excited for that in September. And then Resident Evil 2 remake. That's another one where it's like you can kind of tell right away what it was, and it was a great reveal. Probably one of the better, surprise reveal trailers with that moment showing Leon. Like that was fantastic. And Control coming out of nowhere. The Remedy project, that seems really interesting. You can tell there was like a lot of Quantic Dream. Not Quantic Dream. What's the one? Quantum Break. That game. Yeah, a lot of vibes there with the freezing time and moving projectiles around.
I thought it was Quantum Break 2 for a bit.
Yeah, right. Like almost like a sequel. Yeah, no, definitely same developers there. Now, I think a really good show overall as far as the content goes. But yeah, the pacing and the intermission unacceptable. Nintendo. Will more than 2 newcomers be revealed for Super Smash Bros.? No, 2 exactly, much to everyone's surprise. Will Retro Studios reveal a new IP for Switch? I mean, we thought it might be Star Wars or Star Fox Grand Prix. No, nothing from Retro at this year's E3. Will a Mario Maker, Animal Crossing, or a Pikmin game be revealed for Switch? No. Will 2 of the 3 Switch games receive an official title? Pokemon, Fire Emblem, Yoshi. Yes, Pokemon did, of course, before E3 started and after the questions were finalized. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Not the subtitle I would have given it, or really any leaks would have given it. And then Yoshi is delayed to 2019. Will a Metroid Prime 4 trailer be shown during the Direct? No, it was not. It was not at the show. Will games from a system other than NES be announced for distribution via Nintendo Switch Online? No, they still have to nail that. They didn't even tell us the other 10 in NES. What gives there? Will a new game for 3DS be revealed during the Direct? It was not. It was indeed all Switch. Will 2 of the following 4 third-party games receive Switch ports? Overwatch, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto 5, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Fortnite, and DBZ? Yes. Will Mario Kart Tour be mentioned during the Direct? No. And will Mother 3 be announced for Switch? No, it was not. Very interesting year for Nintendo. Very Smash heavy. But what did you think about it all, Demetrius?
I actually, there's a lot of people saying they were disappointed by it. I guess if you were, expecting the best E3 ever, yeah, you're going to be disappointed. I was okay with it. I really want to see Metroid Prime 4. But at the same time, even though I didn't get Metroid Prime 4, I got Smash. Shame Fire Emblem was pushed to 2019, but I got to see it. And again, we could discuss this more later, but that Daemon X Machina game that they opened it with looks really impressive, and it's a shame that that game is not getting more attention.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise, wasn't it? It looked really cool. The kind of cel-shaded style. The Smash newcomers, Daisy and Ridley, great tweets from Alfred, I think was his name, saying like he had a tweet in late May where it's just like, 2 characters that will never come to Smash, and then a picture of the actress Daisy Ridley, and then when it happens, like, oh, this aged terribly poorly.
This aged terribly.
So that was kind of amazing. What were your reactions to all that Smash news?
I started off just impressed at the graphics and all that, and then the more we saw during that Direct, the more my mind exploded.
I mean, yeah, everyone is back. Like that was crazy.
When they said like, and it doesn't hit me what they mean by everyone until you see like young Link and Pichu. Like you don't even need them.
Yeah, right. They really mean everyone.
Yeah. So that was really impressive, and I was floored by seeing Snake back. Of course, like I don't even know if like Konami like is the same company. Like it certainly doesn't have Hideo Kojima. Like he was in the game originally as a favor to him, and he's not even there. So just the longer it went on, the crazier it got. It was great to see Daisy, and again, this is more stuff that we could get into in depth later. Some of my theories going forward about Echo characters, but it was great to see Daisy get to be quote unquote her own character. But oh man, Ridley.
Yeah, Ridley for sure.
Yeah, like as I said before, like he was my last sort of this is like the major announcement that I could ever see, and I would go absolutely crazy if I saw him. And I went absolutely crazy. I mean, his trailer was amazing. And seeing him in game, he looks amazing. And I even at this very moment, am wigging out internally.
Yeah,
So
it's a great moment. Yeah, everything else from here on out is gravy. It was the perfect
Yeah.
reveal. I can understand for those that don't like Smash. I mean, there are people out there like that. It may have been a bit long. That's for sure. But this was the big focus this year, and yeah, if any of those other games, I mean, a Mario Maker game, Metroid Prime 4, Yoshi, if they aren't ready to go, don't show them. Animal Crossing, another one that I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for. Like, if it's not ready, don't show it. Don't be like other companies that just show logos. Oh, wait, Nintendo did that last year. And we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, but, pretty strong showing overall, especially when you consider Smash. I mean, that kind of went above and beyond for someone like me, at least, for sure. Third party, will Kingdom Hearts 3 receive a specific release date before November 1st, 2018? No, it is January 29th, 2019. So definitely later. Will Rocksteady reveal a new game that features an established superhero protagonist? Surprisingly absent this year. No. Will Cyberpunk 2077 receive a 2019 release window? No. A great trailer? No release window set. And apparently just a killer demo behind closed doors. I hope they get to show video footage of that eventually. Will the Avengers project be shown at all? No. Another surprising absence. Will a new character or mode for Overwatch be announced? Nope. No showing there. Will Anthem receive a specific release date? Yes. Definitely some possible considerations with that. February 22nd, 2019. Let's get out of Red Dead's way this year and slide into that one specific week in 2019. Will a new Splinter Cell or Watch Dogs game be revealed during Ubisoft's conference? No, neither of them. Will Bethesda Game Studios reveal a new IP? They sure did. Starlink is real. They showed it, and then they also went and showed Elder Scrolls 6 with a logo trailer. So that was certainly surprising at the end of their show. Will more than 2 games shown during the press conferences have Battle Royale modes announced? No, a lot of them during the PC gaming show. We didn't really cover the PC gaming show. The only one really was Battlefield 5, and that kind of had mixed reactions too. And then,
Lord, I actually pulled that one off.
Yeah, there you go. It was not cynical about the gaming industry, I guess. And then, will a game series which had its last title released over 10 years ago receive a new installment? That is a yes with Battletoads. Lots of third parties. What were your thoughts, Demetrius?
So I felt like third parties actually sort of had a large presence at this year's show, like almost overshadowing the big guys. Because again, Microsoft have a ton of exclusives. I guess Sony did have exclusives, but the vast majority of those games are 2019 games, whereas third party games are still coming out in 2018. Big third party games are still coming out in 2018. I was impressed by quite a few third-party stuff. My one criticism, as a guy who does enjoy Nintendo stuff, is that there wasn't a ton of Nintendo stuff. But what was there again, I guess, we can talk about in a bit when we're talking about all the, E3 in general stuff.
Yeah, Ubisoft had a pretty good show. Square Enix, pretty disappointing. A couple new titles that they really did not delve too deep on. but a lot of reused stuff from Microsoft show, oddly enough. Bethesda had a pretty good show. I liked it quite a bit. It was odd to open with Andrew WK, and then the way it closed with those kind of reveal trailers was a bit different. And then EA just kind of did their whole boring shtick, and then you throw in the 15-minute mobile game in there, and that kind of killed it pretty early. But I mean, I kind of like how Anthem looks, but there are definitely some questions on if they can make that. What's the future of BioWare? I mean, that's a lot of pressure on that studio. Surprised Rocksteady wasn't there, surprised Avengers wasn't there, but I definitely want to see more of Cyberpunk, because that was some people's game of the show there. They definitely were raving about that. And then the hopes and dreams. They were all no, except for Devil May Cry 5, The Elder Scrolls 6, and Resident Evil 2 Remake. So let's get to our main topic. Just E3 2018 overall. Demetrius, your biggest sort of takeaways and thoughts on the event as a whole.
There's quite a few folks that are thinking it's a down year for whatever company. Maybe you think it's a down year for Nintendo, or you think it's a down year overall. For me, I thought it's interesting. There's some pretty high highs this E3. Like, the best stuff is really good. But the worst stuff was insulting, man. You brought up EA. EA's conference was an insult to me, at least especially in some specific parts, such as EA, giving us insincere BS apologies for loot boxes and then patting themselves on the back because they're not doing loot boxes at the moment. Square Enix, I wonder why Square Enix even did a press conference if they were going to, they basically handed out all their announcements to Microsoft and a little bit to Sony. Why not just not have a press conference if you're going to basically do, show the same things that you're showing at somebody else's conference? I didn't even understand the logic there. I enjoyed most of what I saw. I didn't actually see Square Enix's conference because it was there was no point.
Oh yeah, you didn't miss too much.
Yeah. But Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, I felt all had some, pretty good stuff. I feel like Nintendo had more stuff for this year, in terms of a first party standpoint. For Microsoft, it's basically just Forza, and for Sony, it's God of War. There's not much left for 2018. Like I said, Nintendo has Smash and Pokemon.
Yeah, and I think they'll be fine with those. Some people are wondering, I think the stock took a big hit or whatever for Nintendo. It's I think they'll make their projections for the 20 million with Smash and Pokemon. You can save Mario and Animal Crossing and Metroid Prime 4 and Yoshi and all that. Those can be next year's games. That's okay. They even threw in a Super Mario Party in there. That was a neat little surprise to see. Switch will be fine.
Online too.
Yeah, right. That finally coming into 2018. Switch will be fine. The others, I think the biggest takeaway for me is that we may be getting closer to next generation of consoles than we realize. And even Microsoft, word started to come out after their show of, they're already starting to work on it. Codename Scarlet with 2 T's, and that it'd be they're thinking sort of a line of consoles, almost like they did with Xbox One here, with the original launch, the S, the X, incremental updates over the years. They're kind of thinking on that line again. But they're thinking a reveal in 2019 and release in 2020. There need to be games for this system. And if it's going to be the way the industry's trending, this will be backwards compatible. There will be games certainly like the last console generation where we'll have releases on this generation and next. If you want to keep your box and play those games, you'll still have software, but they want strong launch lineups. I mean, we saw what happened with Nintendo to launch with Zelda, to have Mario Kart follow up soon after, and then Mario Odyssey at the end of the year. That was a killer first year. I think the other competitors are looking at that with a bit of envy. Yeah, there are some big surprises for sure. I certainly loved what I saw with Smash. The Last of Us Part 2, I was amazed by the demo. Naughty Dog does amazing work, and their facial capture, the animations overall, just certain things, even to the point where it was the creative director for Shadow of the Tomb Raider got in some trouble on Twitter where he thought that demo was fake or had fake things in it. And like people got on his case. He deleted the tweet, all that stuff. But it's like, it's that good. Like, it was really, really impressive. Yeah, like you, I have no idea where Death Stranding is going. Yeah, they showed the new actresses, and like that was nice to see. Yeah, I think it was a good E3 overall. I was kind of going into it expecting to be amazed, though. So in a way, I built up my own expectations a bit too high because I was expecting certain games like a Rocksteady. We'll see Avengers because we're in the downtime between the two, movies for Avengers. Like a game being shown would make sense. But certain reveals like Devil May Cry 5 was a killer reveal. That was a great trailer. I'm still listening to that song in the trailer quite a lot. So, that's the siren out here, by the way. If you're listening in your car, it's not there. Yeah, so it was a good show overall, and Kingdom Hearts 3 shown everywhere, and Frozen confirmed, like we thought, like many people thought.
It looks like a Pixar movie.
It's amazing how closely they have worked with Pixar. It'll turn out nice, and there were enough little tidbits left for longtime fans. So when people say Aqua got Norded, and then it's like, what does that mean? It dives in deep. So. I'm really happy with the show overall. I mean, just overall final thoughts from you.
Yeah, I too am very happy with the show overall. I think there are a couple of I want to make sure I highlight this. There were a couple of like sleeper things that kind of got buried in different announcements. For example, like a Dying Light 2. I don't see that being talked about.
Yeah, that's the cool announcements for sure.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed it. I loved the heck out of Dying Light. I thought it was a great game. Can't get any of my friends to play it with me, so I now own it. I refuse to sell it. I'm waiting. I'm trying to convince people to just run through that game with me because I just enjoy the world and the gameplay that much. So I'm happy I'm getting a Dying Light 2. And again, that Daemon X Machina game. I'm going to yell that one to the heavens because I'm looking at it and I'm like, every time I'm on Reddit or something and I see somebody say, wow, Nintendo brought no games to their show and just Smash or however they want to say it, I'm like, yo, you've gotta make sure you at least give that game a glance because I even caught some of the Treehouse gameplay of it and it looks like I know there's some people talking about Armored Core. I've never played that. So to me, it looks like Nintendo said, so EA is never going to give us them, so we'll make our own Anthem with these third-party developers.
Yeah, I think it was some of the developers who worked on Armored Core, and they're just trying to make the ultimate mech game. It's it was a great way to open up the Direct for sure.
Yeah, and it looks legitimately awesome. It looks like something that I want to play, my kind of game with all kinds of you can customize your avatar and your mech, and it looks like it'll be a Monster Hunter-esque kind of thing.
Yeah, I got definitely a lot of mechs. I got a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles X vibes from that for sure.
Yeah, that as well. Which, by the way, I would love for them to port to Switch. But yeah, definitely what seems to be a big time game that's just kind of getting buried. I even saw IGN didn't even put it in their best games of E3 for Switch. Not that I'm saying that any of these games are bad, but if Super Mario Party makes the list of your best of E3 and Overcooked 2 make your list of best of E3, but that game does not, then I know that somebody is just not really paying attention to these things. So I think we should keep an eye out for sleeper hits of that nature.
In their defense, I do wonder if what the game's nature being playable either on the show floor or behind closed doors, I wonder if that had a role with it. I haven't heard much as far as Daemon X Machina is shown behind closed doors and we played it and we loved it. So I'm not sure if IGN factors that in. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. But yeah, I mean, some other game, Division 2 seemed really pretty interesting. Get the teammate talking out of here. I got to level up to 30. I'm only at 29. Get that out of here. I don't need that. But
That stuff is super realistic. That's exactly how people will sound.
For sure.
Yeah.
But no, it's good showings overall, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of it. Oh yeah, EA, and EA and Square. I think they're battling for that bottom spot.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say? When we come back, we will get to the callers. I mean, you can talk about any of the shows, any of the games that caught your eye. It's our E3 2018 wrap-up show here when we come back here on the Power Switch. Welcome back to the Power Switch. I also wanted to kind of mention here, I do apologize for did not deliver on our coverage put up on our end. I definitely wanted to have episodes after each of the press conferences and have you guys call in. That unfortunately just did not work out for me this year. I took the time off, and Scott White over from Irrational Passions, that was all queued up, and we're gonna hang out and knock this all out. But my apologies to him and to everyone out there. Just family things popped up, needed to be home with my family and with a new puppy and all that. He's even just sitting right here under me if you have not heard his bone chewing throughout the episode. But yeah, I do apologize for that. I definitely had big plans this year, but did not deliver, and hopefully you guys can understand. So I just wanted to kind of get that out there. But let's hear what you guys have to say with the callers for E3 2018. Joining us from Illinois, Video Game Guru 64. Welcome back to the Power Switch. How are you?
Good.
Excellent.
Nice to be back.
Yes, for sure. What would you like to talk about for this E3 2018 episode?
Kingdom Hearts is still just coming to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. No Switch titles. I mean, nothing on the Switch front, and Nintendo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, Demetrius, you a big Kingdom Hearts player?
I very much enjoy the Kingdom Hearts games. Granted, I don't think I've ever completed one, but I've played 50 hours of 1, 2, and Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah.
Each. Without completing them, I guess life.
Oh no.
Yeah, you got the gist of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I very much enjoy the games, and I usually try and look up Let's Plays or something like that so I can keep up with the story, and I still don't feel like I've kept up with the story because it's so convoluted. But
yeah, it's sounding like they're going to release a multi-hour story summation, and I guess it's going to be done on YouTube in Japanese in parts to start, but it's sounding like they may include it in Kingdom Hearts 3. I think that'd be really important for those that are trying to jump in. Some of the reveals that they showed were definitely big if you played Birth by Sleep. That's one that a lot of people forget that is super critical to the story and its characters and all that.
I just watched Birth by Sleep. I didn't play it, but I got the main gist of what's happening, and I'm sad that Aqua's been noted. Yeah,
it was one of those things where you're watching that trailer and you're either like, oh, I don't know who that character is, blue hair, and okay, yellow eyes is a thing, and then the other half is like, no. No. Scott and I, we were watching that. We were hoping to do something with our reaction. We were watching it too. We had started to record the Microsoft one, and we were definitely surprised. Put it that way. But I'm so glad that we got the Pirates of the Caribbean, though. That world in the PlayStation conference, it looks so much better than what Port Royal did.
So good. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's almost photorealistic.
Yeah. And it's actually a passable Johnny Depp voiceover impersonation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They did, whoever's trying to emulate his voice. I thought for a second it was actually Johnny Depp, but
yeah, definitely a big difference from Kingdom Hearts 2, where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna be terrible at this. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I didn't hear too much of Sully, but Mike Wazowski was not as close.
Not as
I
close,
would've
but okay, somewhat passable. It's tough to. Billy Crystal's another one to get right on too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The parts that take place within what was originally a Pixar movie look like a Pixar movie. Like it looks almost CGI since those movies are CGI. It just goes to show you, like, that kind of art style can just be really, really beautiful if you do it right. And of course, they show. I think it's almost showing off on Square Enix's part to have something photorealistic in it. Like, just in case you thought we couldn't do a good-looking photorealistic universe, we have the Pirates of the Caribbean section too. God, I'm hyped for that game. I'm gonna have to get the collections that they have on PS4 and finally finish the series.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like I have 1.5, 2.5. Like I rented 2.8 just to give the final chapter prologue a try. But yeah, to have the full collection like on PS4, because the 1.5, 1.5, 2.5 I have on PS3. So it's like to do the 1080p, 60 frames, the PS4 improvements. Like the $100 bundle on PS4 is super tempting. Not gonna lie.
Did they announce a price point on the Kingdom Hearts collector's edition for the PS4? The collector's edition for the PS4
Pro.
The PS4 Pro.
The PS4 Pro. It looked interesting. I would guess it would probably be, oh gosh, maybe 400.
I guess somewhere around cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it probably went. I don't know if they officially announced the price, but it would probably be around.
I don't remember seeing it.
Whether it's 400 or 450, because I doubt they have a 350 price cut right now for PS4 Pro, but I doubt that's lasting. So.
Okay, because I probably will get that over just getting a PS4 and buying the games.
Yeah, no, the pros worth it if you don't have a PS4. If you're someone who's still sticking around with a PS4 and it's working fine, I'd still say just save for PS5 because that may come before you know it. You don't want to regret the PS4 Pro, especially if you don't have the 4K HDR TV. Like, save your money for all that. But yeah, if you're trying to jump in the PS4, like the Pro is a good way to go about it. And the Kingdom Hearts games do have good improvements for Pro. So.
Yeah,
I got the PS4 Pro in order to have like a bridge to PSVR because that's the only VR solution I could ever afford. I would have to get like $1,000 PC and then home with VR. So
then PSVR have super good deals right now. Like it's so tempting. Like I just had to pay really high like dog vet bills. Otherwise, like I would have easily jumped at a $250 price point for the Skyrim VR bundle. Like, it's just like, are you kidding me? Like the visor, 2 move controllers, the Skyrim game, the camera. Normally, when that released, it was $450, and like it's on sale right now for $250. Yeah. Again, it's like I think they'll have a version 2 of PSVR come PS5 time, so like I'll wait for that. But oh man, like it was super tempting.
Yeah, and then the other thing is Nintendo, and I was kind of disappointed with their conference just because they announced 2 new games. They announced Super Mario Party, and they announced Daemon X Machina. Otherwise, we already know everything that was in I guess Dragon Ball Z Fighters was announced for that. But otherwise than that, we knew everything that was in the conference.
Yeah, a lot of things on that leak with the placards for the show floor, like that all ended up being true. Fortnite on Switch, it's a good announcement just to get out there. How did we not mention the Sony kerfuffle with all of that? Like that is some amazing nonsense going on right now, where if you even created or played an Epic account on PS4, like that whole account, Paragon, Fortnite, whatever, that's all locked to PS4. It got play on BBC. It's getting some attention. Like, I wonder if they'll reverse course, but maybe only in that case. Like, it's arrogant Sony right now.
If you made an Epic account for Paragon, your Fortnite account is for your PS4.
You got to make a whole new email and password. It's absurd. It's not okay.
Okay, I was under the impression that it only to Fortnite, like, and I was already like, that's absolute garbage on Sony's part. Yes, it is pure arrogance, and it's ironic. It's really ironic coming from the company that claims they're for the gamers.
Yeah.
But you could create an app. You could count for freaking Paragon, like for on Epic servers, and now you can't play. You can't take that Fortnite account. Even if you've never even touched Fortnite on PS4, you just have to make. Okay, all right, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I mean, but good to get it on Switch. I'm seeing a lot of people really enjoying the portability factor there. So kudos to Nintendo for getting that all sorted. What did you think about Smash Brothers?
I thought it was great. I thought it was bringing back all the characters. That's amazing, and I don't know how they're doing that exactly. Like, are they not bringing back the customizable characters, or customizable movesets?
Yeah, so customs are out. I think that was pretty clear from how they were explaining Mii Fighters, how they've kind of streamlined their moves. They kind of given that improvements. Palutena was the big one. They said like she now has one specific move for each of her specials, and then the down special is a counter and a reflection one. So like it seems to be all indications like they're taking customs out, and thank goodness, because those were terrible to collect. Did not care for that at all. It's brought up some interesting discussion of like the whole idea of is it a port? Is it a new game? Like,
oh god,
it's a new game.
It's a new game. Let's put it out there. But I think you have to be very aware of the realities of game development, where they've taken lots of assets and the mechanics behind Smash 4. Like you can't say like they've built. So when they say built it from the ground up, I question that a little bit. But with all of the changes that they've made, like it's to have those new characters work inside that new engine. For all intents and purposes, that guy who had the tweet that said like I did the rendering engine for this, like there's a new render shader on all these characters.
Yeah.
And if some people think it looks worse, then that's the price you have to make for guaranteeing 60 frames a second on console, whether it's docked or undocked. 1080p when it's docked, 720 when it's like you want that firm 60 for something like Smash.
I actually don't think it looks worse. I think it looks much better. But
I feel it looks much better as well. So,
and I agree with you for sure. But there are some people trying to be contrarians out there.
I mean, you know how people do. The idea, like, it's a port. Like I see people keep using the term, it's quote unquote basically a port. And like I asked, like, what is your definition of port? And that goes for everybody listening. By that logic, you've never played a sequel in your life. Everything is a port.
Yeah. And new movesets for different characters. Like, that's awesome.
You get new characters, new stages. Every character that's ever been in the series is now back. Seemingly every stage. We're bringing back all the old Pokeball Pokemon, new Pokeball Pokemon, new trophies, new quote-unquote Echo characters.
Oh, yeah, the Echo Fighters. Like, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
To turn that kind of clone messaging and spin it on that, it was great.
Yeah.
I think Shadow's going to be an Echo Fighter over Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a popular pick for sure.
There's just all this new stuff. I just want to know. It's got, like, new music.
Yeah.
Again, as Guru said, it also has like it's tweaking returning characters.
Yeah.
Some more significantly than others. Like it's a fighting game. So one like frame data changes the entire meta. You could literally have a character have the same animations, but their frames are faster, and that could boost them in the tier list, which adjusts the entire tier list now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So even the smallest changes are major shifts in this genre, but we're talking about like these are fairly sweeping changes across the board. And again, the game looks better graphically, and there's new content. What more do you want? What do they have to call it? Super Smash Brothers for Wii U 2 for you to say, okay, definitely on a port.
I'm finding it really interesting how it seems to be designed to have Smash be a platform going forward. It's almost like Sakurai is really, really and truly making it to be his last Smash, to deliver everything that anyone could have wanted, but have it be an established platform that it can be built off with DLC, something that can be ported to an additional console going forward. But like, you got to do the work to build this base. Which character now going forward that we have Ridley? I can't believe I'm saying that. But if there is one character going forward that you hope to see either still to be revealed as a newcomer or possibly in DLC, which one character would that be for you?
Chrono from Chrono Trigger.
That'd be neat. I'd be down for that for sure.
I mentioned Shadow already. I'm gonna go for one a little bit tougher. Saki Amamiya.
Ooh, okay. Sin and Punishment. Yeah. It is interesting to see in the speculation with like the assist trophies that have been revealed, and like a lot of people are definitely picking up on Shadow because we saw a Knuckles assist trophy. It's like, well, Shadow's been an assist trophy for a while. What's Shadow doing this game?
Yeah.
I wonder if it might be later down the line since when the game's already released, but if they don't have DLC for like you can play as the assist trophies like Waluigi, Bomberman, all those characters you could play as.
I would love to see it, especially Waluigi. That's probably like the other big character, like that is Ridley. But
I don't know, man. Get Waluigi out of here. He got F smashed into oblivion. Let's be real here.
You're right. But
considering the fact that they are now not offable, so you can hit them and they count as a point. So
they're closer than they've ever been to being playable. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
very, very true.
Yeah.
This one's more of a like a prediction than like a want. I don't actively desire this, but I see it happening. Ken.
Yeah.
And my logic behind this, my crazy fanboy theory is that they no longer have a red Ryu costume. Game Explain just they showed every costume in the game, and Ryu doesn't have a red gi anymore. And Ken is the like Echo Fighter.
Oh, for sure.
If we're using that term, he's the guy. So
one of the OGs for sure. What a cool change for Ryu too, to have him always face the opponent in a 1v1, and just the 1v1, the kind of life improvements overall. I mean, to have like the stocks show up in number format after a death, to have the blast zone boundary thing pop up when someone's been knocked off stage. Support. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And the coolest thing, the critical hits that the camera zooms in. It's so good for the hype. It's so good.
So good. The damage increased for like playing with 3 players and playing with 1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna love seeing Falcon 1v1s.
Oh, yeah. Even first seeing him that Falcon punch. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That one gave me chills.
Mm-hmm.
Always love Falcon. By the way, some of these character updates, like their designs, are just freaking awesome. But it's a port. Yeah. They just look so great. Zelda, she was Twilight Princess Zelda for so long. Now she's between World Zelda, and it just looks great. Zero Suit Samus, stunning as always.
Snake lost his butt though.
Snake lost his butt. Unfortunately. He looks a little bit more MGS5 Venom.
He kind of does, doesn't he? Yeah, it's a different kind of face there. I mean, Wolf looks really cool.
Wolf looks great.
Great touch-ups there.
Though his unhinged jaw.
yeah, for sure.
Got to work on that. Young Link. This is probably the first time we've ever seen Ocarina of Time Link. A glorious HD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As far as I can remember, I think the closest we've ever gotten was 3D.
Yeah.
Or Unreal Engine 4 fan, hack games. Or
those
things.
Yeah.
I guess I meant officially. Ganondorf uses his sword.
Oh yes, the sword. Yes. It was so cool.
But just remember, it's a port.
and nobody brought that up. Well, I shouldn't say that. I didn't watch the whole E3 Treehouse, but nobody brought that up in the direct. So
yeah, it was
it's like-
definitely went by quickly. Another really cool change that it would have taken, watching the little mini character videos, like because each character has like 20 seconds of video to kind
Yeah.
of introduce them. Dr. Mario has a stomp.
Yeah.
Like a down air.
Yeah,
He's got a double-legged stomp.
yeah.
Like
it's almost
crazy.
Ganon or Falcon-esque
Yeah.
a bit, like just straight down spike.
Maybe to distinguish more, as he is not an Echo fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they've got to give him something. But it's just important to remember this is a port. It's just every time I don't want to be too annoying, but every time we bring up something new, I just feel the need to remind us all that let's not go crazy.
It's a port.
It may have like so many new things in it, more new things than say I don't know, Call of Duty,
Right.
but definitely a port, guys.
All right. Well, great stuff, guys. Video Game Guru 64, thank you so much for calling in. People can find you on Twitter at Video Game Guru 64. This is awesome. Like, good to hear your perspective, and thanks so much for calling in.
Yep. See you later.
All right, guys. Thanks for calling in. When we come back, we will get to Demetrius's top 5 games of all time. Top 5 favorites. I really miss these kind of lists. Kind of gives a good sense of the player and the games behind them. So that'll be when we come back here on the Power Switch. Welcome back to the Power Switch. This week's tempo control music is brought to you by Mario Power Tennis. You can find a new video game music top 10 list from a specific game soundtrack every Tuesday over at youtube.com/rhymeswithasia. Demetrius, let's get to your top 5 favorite games of all time. Get a sense of if you had to make those picks, what would you choose? I'm really fascinated to hear what you have to say.
All right. Put me on the spot just a bit, but I think I've got a pretty decent list here. Starting out with one that no one will agree with. I'd say my number 5 is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Hell yeah, man. I'll agree with it. It's in my top 10 at least. I don't know if it cracks the 5 spot, but like it's my favorite Sonic game. That's a guilty pleasure if I've ever have one.
Yeah, that's the thing. I get it. If you look, especially looking back on it as a game, maybe it's not super great, but like literally I have memorized that game front to back. Funny story, when I was young, when I was just a wee lad, I had gotten a GameCube. GameCube was my second console of that generation. My first was an Xbox. It was like a whole new world for me on GameCube. So Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was like one of the first games I got for it. What I didn't have for it was a memory card.
Ooh.
But I loved that game so much. I used to literally play it front to back, start to finish, every time I turned my GameCube on, without ever saving my progress in that game. I did this for like years.
Yeah, I mean, if you know what you're doing, like one side of the story, hero or dark, like it's 2 hours, no problem.
Yeah, I could pretty much. I feel pretty confident that I could speedrun that game. I don't know if I could win, like I could set a record, but I could like speedrun that game pretty well at this point because again, I always had to play it start to finish within a day, and I only ever had weekends to play games. So,
speaking of speedruns, have you seen like what they did at the last like AGDQ and all that? And they had like the guy who did the CGSS skip. Like the crazy, like guys skipped like so much of Crazy Gadget, and it's the part where you like you're running and you're kind of going in like that dark room where it's like very vertical and you have the 3 grind rails there, and you have to progress forward. You have to pick the right one because it's like abyss below it, neon green and all that. The guy did some sort of thing where like he maneuvered it just right, where like he fell through the map, and then he's like maneuvering all this off space. It's much like the Final Rush skip with Sonic, where you kind of fling yourself in oblivion and like you kind of maneuver the camera around, but like to go right to the end, and like it's this crazy gadget skip, and it's bananas. I recommend looking it up.
Yeah, I'll have a look for that because that it's a game that's just kind of near and dear to my heart. I still feel like it's like the best Sonic game ever made. That might be nostalgia glasses.
Yeah, man, no judging. I hear you.
Yeah, I'm still holding out hope for a real Sonic Adventure 3. Not everybody. Every time I say that, somebody likes to say, "Well, that's what they call it, Sonic." Like, no, A, that game didn't happen. B, that game didn't happen. So, number 4 for me would probably be Halo 3.
Okay, yeah.
Halo 3 was actually the first-person shooter that I actually played, especially like in terms of online FPSs. It introduced me to a whole new world of gaming because before then I had all of the 6th generation consoles, but none of them were connected to the internet. I got a Wii first in the next generation. I very much enjoyed it, but the Wii wasn't exactly online shooter centric. So playing a Halo 3, and of course the Wii wasn't HD either. So playing this HD like big massive storyline kind of game, it really like drew me into like a whole new type of game. Made me a Halo fan. I eventually went back and played Halo 1 and Halo 2, and I've played every Halo game since 3, including Wars and ODST, and both of the Spartan Ops titles. And now I have to find the Dave & Buster's so I can play that arcade release too.
Oh yeah. Halo 3 was the first Halo game I played, which made the story exceptionally confusing. But no, it's a good one. I mean, great ending for sure. And yeah, that's when we're talking like first person shooter, especially with the dual analog stick. I think that might have been my first two. So I feel you there.
Yeah. Again, another one kind of really close to my heart. I feel like probably, if I'm being honest, like objectively, Halo Reach was probably a quote unquote better game, but I very much like Halo 3 just because it's like how important it is to me as a gamer.
Yeah, man, it's like it's about favorites. I mean, you can talk about critical success and all that, but yeah, we have our favorites, and it's for sure.
So I guess coming in number 3 would be a Smash Brothers game. Choose one, but don't choose Brawl.
Okay.
I like 64, Melee, and 4, both versions of 4, for all at the same amount, but for like different reasons, for different things that they represent for me. Smash 64 is obviously the one that started it all, and it was just like mind-blowing at the time that I saw it. And I think to this day I was too young to process what was really going on in Smash 64. Melee is, of course, the one for a lot of people. I had never gotten into competitive Melee, but it was still like, I think I finally was old enough to realize what was going on as of Melee, and thus my mind was more blown with Melee than 64. Brawl had tripping, so I didn't like it as much. Smash 4 3DS was the first handheld Smash experience, and I very much enjoyed it for that. And Smash Wii U was the first HD Smash experience, and it was also didn't have tripping, and it had plenty of third-party characters, the first DLC as well, like for the series, all kinds of great things. So Smash is my number 3.
Yeah, see, I have Smash at my personal number 3 as well, but for me it's Brawl, just because of with the podcast and all that, and then all the things that could be done with hacking, Project M and all that. So that's why I have it there. So I find that interesting.
That's very interesting. And for my number 2, 2 and 1 are the hardest for me.
Yeah, but
I'm going to have to say Breath of the Wild with some sort of caveats here.
Okay.
First off, my 2-1 before last year would have originally been Ocarina of Time and Galaxy 2, not necessarily, but I feel like Breath of the Wild and Odyssey surpassed those games for me.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, playing through Breath of the Wild, it redefined gaming for me. Like it leave it to Nintendo to make an open world game and not really stop there. Like, instead of just it merely being a wide open world, it's a world in which everything is physics based and everything matters, and you can go anywhere and do anything. And unlike other games that say that, you can really just go anywhere. Like, hey, you have a stick in your underwear, but you can leave the Great Plateau now. So if you want to go fight Ganon, more power to you.
It's definitely one of the the generation defining games for this generation for sure. Like it's magical for sure, and it's all a matter of taste if that really appealed to you. Like personally, it's like my number 2 game is a Legend of Zelda game, but it's Wind Waker HD. So it's like, do you prefer the more linear sort of path, or like is the open world more appealing to you? So, but it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, I would say Wind Waker is also a fantastic game. Wind Waker HD more so original because of the streamlining.
Yep,
so that's a great choice. And again, spoilers. My number 1 is Odyssey. It would have been either Ocarina of Time or Galaxy 2. As I said, I'll compare specifically to Galaxy 2. I thought Galaxy 2, way back when, was the greatest game I ever played because it just felt like every aspect was just perfect. It was like and that's a lot for me to say because I don't think any game is perfect. It felt like every single interaction and experience and motion and thing in the game was like tailor-made to be exactly right. I felt that way in Galaxy. But Odyssey, I feel like, took that and then added the open-endedness of a 64 and then took that and made it even more open. So now, it's like a perfect combination of, the Galaxy 2 specifically is like sort of tailor-made, sort of, every single aspect of this game is designed to be to maximize fun, perfect difficulty curve, and even like, see, it's not merely a difficulty curve, like you almost choose your own difficulty. Like you can play through the game and see the ending cutscene without ever experiencing much real difficulty. But if you want to get all the moves, you got to work for it. And there's some very tough challenge maps that you can access. And it just like the capture mechanic. Hell, just the New Donk City Festival almost brought a tear to my eye. As a longtime Mario fan.
No, that game is beautiful, man. Like I played Odyssey, start to finish with credits like twice last year. Just one for my own kind of exploration, but then one to show my wife and just to read through it. Like it is pure magic. It's pure bliss and entertainment. It's so good. I think that's a really, really worthy number 1. It just shows like how great 2017 was to have those two there. So you had number 5 as Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, number 4 Halo 3, number 3 a Smash game that isn't Brawl, number 2 Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and number 1 Super Mario Odyssey. How weird is it going to be, where Odyssey later this year is not going to only refer to Super Mario Odyssey? We have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like, that's a shame.
I almost unfairly hate that game because it looked great at the showing. It looked great at Ubisoft show, but I'm like, you can't use that subtitle.
Oh, man.
It'd be like if there was like a football player named LeBron James, and you might be a damn good football player, but I'm sorry, you can't use that name, dude.
Yeah. Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan's got we don't refer to him as. No, you are Michael B. Jordan.
You got to make the distinction. He's exceptionally talented as well. So that's great. It's a great list, and I definitely agree with a lot of those. So good picks for sure. Let's quickly talk about the games that are out this week. Really, the only one of note is Mario Tennis Aces that comes out Friday, June 22nd for Nintendo Switch. If you've built any points off of the demo, the online tournament, that carries over. I believe so, at least. I'm on the fence on if I want to get this. It may be a point in monthly budget where it doesn't work out this month, but I love the Mario Tennis games. I have a whole lot of fun with them, and this one seems to be really well done. So I hope that, until it's a few months until the Switch is online, kind of gets on track. It may be a little tricky. I mean, people are talking about lag and all that when they tested it out, so hopefully that's improved. So I got a dog who is now restless, pulling on the leash. I know, boy, it's okay. But no, here he goes. He's trying to wag it off. But yeah, no, it should be really good for Mario Tennis Aces. So go pick that up if that interested you at all. That'll do it for this episode of the Power Switch. We are hosted by rhymeswithasia.com, and we're on YouTube and Twitch at Rhymes with Asia. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at the Power Switch. I am at Pete Speakeasy. Demetrius is at D_Demone on Twitter, so check him out there for sure.
Can I plug a new thing as well?
Oh, yeah, by all means.
Yeah. So I am actually, my college degree is creative writing, so I've been trying to establish a portfolio of sorts with that. So I am a part of a service called Inklo, in which basically every week I publish a new chapter to an ongoing series. I'm kind of authoring an original story through that service. It is an app. I don't know if they have a website up yet, but it is an app that I know is available. It's INKLO, and I am under my name, Demetrius Wilson. I am publishing this story, The Good Guys. Yeah, I'd really appreciate it if anybody, stop by and gave it a read. I like to think it's an interesting story, but I definitely, want to get a bit more exposure because even Inklo itself is relatively small time. But I'd like to get some of my stuff out there.
That is awesome. Definitely check it out. Oh my gosh, this dog. No, we'll check that out for sure. I'll put links in the show notes, so definitely check Demetrius out there and support him. As far as the Power Switch here, you can email us any questions, concerns, comments, or opportunities at powerswitchpod@gmail.com, and you can subscribe to the Power Switch on podcast services such as Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. If you could be so kind as to leave a review, that would really help as well. But most importantly, to participate in future episodes like Demetrius here and Video Game Guru 64, you should join our community on Discord by visiting rhymeswithasia.com/call. And it's a small but growing community, so now is the perfect time to have your voice heard on this podcast. If you want a YouTube video to watch from me, I happen to have some video game coverage for E3. I was able to sit on Discord with some of my friends, and we did our Smash reactions. That's a fun video that's on Rhymes with Asia's YouTube channel as well. If you want to see how quickly I picked up to Ridley or how I reacted to the snake being in, that's a good time. I'd recommend checking that out. Do you have a YouTube video in particular point people to?
Honestly, I was going to point them to yours if you hadn't.
Ah, well, watch it twice. Give me double the views. I appreciate that. Thanks. And so stay tuned to everything as it develops, and regardless whether it's live or on your own time, I look forward to you joining us for our next episode. For Demetrius, I am Peter Spasia. Until next time, switch up, call in, game on.